But no, thank you for the invite to come here and provide an update on the I-41 project. It's a really exciting project. As Bob was just talking, their project is just getting out of the gates, just getting started. For 41, we're in full stride. We're running wide open right now. There's a lot going on. We had a busy year in 25. We have even busier years in the upcoming future that I'll get into here. So, the presentation, I'll cover a little bit of overview of the project, talk about some of our design refinements and where we're at in design, spend a lot of time on our construction updates, what we got done in 25, where we're going in 26, and then a little bit about how we're keeping the public informed. So, 41. It is 23 miles of expansion of I-41 from the Appleton area up to Green Bay. It's connecting two existing 6-lane sections to better improve the flow of traffic through the area. We're constructing auxiliary lanes between some of our closely spaced interchanges, and then we are also constructing a collector distributor roadway between the County E or Ballard Road interchange and our WIS 441 systems interchange. Along this project, we have 10 different interchanges that are being impacted. We're constructing 3 diverging diamond or DDI interchanges. 2 of those are already done. The third will be built this year. We are reconstructing the systems interchange between 441 and I-41. The new systems interchange will have the higher speed flyover ramp configuration. We're making select improvements at 3 other interchanges along the corridor. We are constructing 2 diamond interchanges with roundabouts, and then we are constructing 1 brand new diamond interchange with roundabouts up at the Southbridge corridor, Southbridge connector. I think it changes names weekly. The Southbridge corridor is a Brown County project, and for the 41, we are reconstructing, or we are building a new interchange basically from frontage road to frontage road to connect into the Brown County project. Some other improvements, we are replacing 11 local or county overpasses and underpasses along the corridor. Most of these were older structures. Many of them had piers right up on the shoulders that we have to reconstruct so we have room for the expanded highway underneath. As far as our project schedule, this graphic kind of shows where we're at. With our design, you can see we're about 2/3 of the way through design and our traffic management planning. Real estate right now, I believe the latest number was we have 254 of our 318 parcels acquired, so we're well underway with real estate. Our utility coordination, doing a lot of that coordination up front and getting that done. Some of the relocates are underway or completed as well. And then as far as construction goes, we started in 2024 with some smaller projects. 2025, we had our first mainline project start, and 26, 27, 28 are going to be even busier. So as far as design, we're finalizing a lot of our design. We're finishing up our staging plans and the staging of our projects. We recently had a good meeting with industry. We had WTBA involved. Contractors came in. We talked about our system interchange and how are we going to reconstruct all these flyovers and try to keep traffic moving and all of that. We got a lot of really great feedback, making some tweaks to our staging plans, and that project will actually be out for a July letting. As I mentioned earlier, utility relocations. We have monthly meetings with all the utility companies up and down the corridor. Status on where our design is, where their relocate plans are, identifying conflicts and challenges. We keep working through that in our design phases. Real estate, again, is well underway. And then another major factor is our stormwater coordination. Not just the stormwater on our project, but how it's impacting the municipalities, getting all of our agreements in place, getting the DNR and everybody else, all the other players involved. A hot topic on our corridor was CSD, or community sensitive design. There's corridors to the south and to the north of us in Winnebago and Brown counties that the CSD was a major factor in those projects. Well, then back in 2015, the policy changed, and if you wanted to incorporate CSD elements, it was going to have to be 100% locally funded. That posed a lot of challenges for this project, being the length, the amount of municipalities involved, the amount of communities involved, and just some of that cost. Fortunately, in 2024, there was a redefinition of the policy. We still cannot use state funds for CSD aspects, but we can put federal funds towards that. So that took some relief off of the local municipalities. So we are able to incorporate some form liners and some staining, some landscaping, and some of those aspects into our corridor. So here's just a couple examples of what things are going to look like. Along with the CSD, kind of tied to that is noise barriers. We have 9 different noise barriers that we're going to be building on this corridor. There's one existing noise barrier that will remain. With some of that CSD policy change, the staining of noise barriers is no longer considered a CSD cost. That's just part of the barrier system. And so we're able to have some nice looking barriers. These are actually 2 barriers that were built this last year down on one of our southern segments. We worked with the locals and the public at our public meetings about what looks they wanted, what colors they wanted, and things like that. And we're able to incorporate that all into the project. Here's just a look too at our systems interchange on kind of how those flyovers are going to look, how we're incorporating some of those, the staining and the different 3D relief elements to the structures to give them a nice look. All right, I'll jump into our actual construction staging here. Our mainline staging is broken out. What you see here in the purple is mainline projects that started in 2025 and will continue into the future. Here in the green is what will be starting this year in 2026. And then the blue is what will start in 2027. So all of these segments are at a minimum of 2 years, some of them 3 years in length. So with saying that, when we get into 27, 28, we are going to have the majority of our 23 miles under construction at the same time. So there will be a lot of work going on up here in northeast Wisconsin. This slide just highlights some of the completed work that we've gotten done so far. I'll go into some of these in a little more detail. The Wisconsin Avenue, or WIS 96 southbound exit ramp, although it was just an exit ramp, it was a major accomplishment of last year. There's some very poor soils in this area, and there was a very unique retaining wall structure that had to be built with a rigid inclusion system to support the wall so we don't have a lot of a settlement in the future. This allowed us to expand this ramp to a 2-lane exit ramp with 2 left turn lanes and 2 right turn lanes at the bottom of it. If anybody's familiar with the area, this feeds the Fox River Mall. So it's a very, very popular ramp. We were able to get that completed last year. At the 15 interchange, or County 00 Northland Avenue, this was one of our first DDIs we completed on the corridor. Adding longer ramps, additional capacity, longer turn lanes, really increasing the safety here on the project. The Ballard Road interchange was our second DDI. This opened late in 2025. There's a little bit of work here that needs to be completed yet in the spring here, but we were able to get this one completed. Again, this is a very, very popular area. There's a large development going to be happening adjacent to this interchange. Along with this work, we completed the reconstruction of the Capitol Drive and Ballard Road intersection. It was actually a mostly local funded intersection project that we incorporated into our project so that we minimized the impacts to the public in the area. It was let with our project and everything else, but we had cost share agreements with the county and the city of Appleton to complete that. Here's a couple of those overpasses that we also completed in the last couple of years, or these 2 were completed last year. It's the Holland Road overpass and the Vandenbroek overpass. Again, these were some of those structures that they used to have piers right on the shoulders. We have to get those out of the way so we can expand the main line underneath. These projects were actually let before the CSD policy changed, so the staining wasn't included in these projects, but we are going back and staining these now under a different project to maintain a consistent look through the corridor. Next here I have the County J interchange. This is on the Kaukauna area. This interchange was a little bit unique. We replaced the structure and we expanded the roundabouts and replaced the roundabout, or replaced the pavement on the roundabouts. It wasn't a complete reconstruct of this interchange. Dawes Crane is just down the road from here. In the previous configuration, they weren't able to get some of their large equipment through the roundabouts here. They had to take different routes to access the interstate. By adding a lot of truck apron pavement on the inside and outsides of the roundabout, putting in signs that can be popped up and removed to get some of those larger loads through, we made improvements to this interchange as well. Very interesting piece of our corridor is the new State Patrol Northeast Region headquarters. I thought I got into building roadways, and now we're building buildings. This was a little unique for us and kind of different. It was a fun challenge. We partnered with State Patrol and DBM and BHM on getting this incorporated into our majors project. It's a two-story building. Like I said, it'll be the new State Patrol Northeast Region headquarters post. It also is a safety and weight enforcement facility. So it's a two-story building. There's a 400-foot tall communications tower, a lot of electronics and security and everything else involved in it. Very unique project. The entire SWEF project was actually split into two portions. The first portion here was the building and getting the headquarters, the State Patrol headquarters located. And then in the future here, we will be building kind of the ramp and the scales and all of that to get to access the SWEF. On the north end of our corridor, we have the Southbridge Road interchange. Again, this is a brand new interchange, was farm fields before. We're connecting into the Brown County corridor. This project in this area had very, very poor soils. We expected a lot of settlement, foot to 18 inches of settlement for the fills for the overpass at the interchange. So what we did is we split this into two projects as well. We had an early fill contract. They put in wick drains, drainage blankets, built the fills all up. Those have all been sitting for about 9 months now, and we're getting started with the actual structure. The second part of the project was let late in 25, and to build the actual interchange, which I'll touch on in some future slides here. So that was 25. Where are we going for 26? Again, another very busy year. I'll highlight a few of these as well. You can see up and down the corridor here, there's projects throughout. Last year we built the 96 southbound exit ramp. This year we're going to build the 96 northbound entrance ramp. Again, tight corridor, tight constraints in here. We'll have that closed for a while. But again, building a longer, safer 2-lane ramp to access the interstate. We're also adding some bike and ped accommodations at the bottom that previously weren't there. Whoa. I'm not sure what happened there. All right, Lyndale Overpass. This actually started last year. It will be completed here in 2026. We are not replacing the Lyndale Drive overpass in the Appleton area, but there was an existing box culvert that kind of ran at an angle underneath of the overpass that was outdated, needs to be replaced, was added on to 2 different times, wasn't even straight anymore. So we needed to replace the large box culvert through there, but we tried to find a way that we didn't have to replace the overpass, because the overpass still has a lot of life left into it. So we were able to come up with a new configuration. We're building 2 box culverts, one crossing at perpendicular to 41, one crossing perpendicular to Lyndale Drive or County A. One of the challenges with this is the Grand Chute Police Fire EMS facility is just adjacent to this roadway. This is their main access into the town of Grand Chute. So we had to do this under traffic. that, trying to close this would have impacted their response times and all of that. So very deep shoring, a lot of coordination, a lot of utility conflicts, things like that to work through. It was really, even though it's a box culvert and we're not replacing the overpass, this was quite a project to undertake. This will be completed here in the spring of 2026. I'll touch on the 47 interchange, or Richmond Street. This will be our third DDI interchange. A very busy area in Appleton. We actually completed the 15 and the Ballard Road interchanges in advance so that we have places for the diverted traffic to go when we close this to build the DDI. This will be starting here in the spring and be completed in the fall of 26. The ramps will have some other impacts as we reconstruct mainline and stages underneath. And then we're adding more pedestrian accommodations and obviously more lanes and ramp lengthening and turn lanes for the traffic in the area. The 441 Systems interchange, work in this area will be starting this year. We'll have our northbound 441 to northbound 41 ramp closed for a short period of time while that gets reconstructed. We will start with the French Road overpass, which is just adjacent to the interchange here. We'll get that all done this year. In July is our large letting for the system interchange itself. So we're really looking forward. Those plans are all being finalized right now, and we're looking forward to that getting let and getting started on that in late 26 as well. County U interchange, work here started last year. This one is being staged again with the main line. We're building 3 roundabouts, realigning frontage roads, getting this all connected. A lot of work going on here. Different intermediate changes or closures, excuse me, while we make the changes to the area and rebuild the French Road frontage roads and all of the ramps to better align this. And then we have the Southbridge Road, which I touched on earlier. We completed all the early fills in 2025. Now in 2026, we start with the actual roundabouts and interchange work in the bridges. They're releasing all the settlement periods in the next few weeks here to start on the abutments and get going on all of this work. So this will all be completed here before the end of 2026 to tie in with the Brown County segments that are also scheduled to open in 2026. I'm not going to talk a whole lot about 27, but here's just a graphic. All the red is mainline areas that will be impacted or under construction in 2027. So it is going to be a very large area with a lot of work going on. And then finally, just a few ways that we're coordinating with the public. We have our project field office. I see a lot of familiar faces here, people that are come to our office for our DBE stakeholder meetings and our public meetings and things like that. All of our construction staff is housed out of here. We hold a lot of public meetings, business meetings, local officials meetings, and everything out of this building. And then just to highlight project communication, similar to the slide that Bob had, we have a large email distribution list. We put a lot out on social media. It's a great way to get information out to the public in a timely manner. We have 4,000 people on our distribution list, very large mailing list, 14,000 people. We have a Facebook page with 23,000 followers, and since January of 2025, when we started tracking things, we got 9.8 million views on our Facebook page. Just amazing the stretch you can have and the amount of people you can impact with social media communications. So we have a great website. We got great social media out there. If you have any questions about the project, again, thank you for allowing me to present here. And I think we got a couple minutes if there's any general questions that anybody might have. All right. I must have stumped them. No questions.